So I'm here in rather chilly Florida, and this is day 3 doing permaculture on my father's yard. And what I'm doing is basically applying principles to improve what he has, not just for now, but for the future. So one of the things I've been doing is basically covering all the leaves with sand. You know, if you cover biomatter, then it will break down much quicker. So all these leaves will break down. What I'd like to do is get a bunch of clover and throw clover seed and pat it down, and then sprinkle a little bit of ground cover on and have clover growing up all in here. It'd be really, really cool, as you can see here. I've raked up leaves and covered them with sand. And again, you'll see what I do in other places. I'm gonna leave this, I'm kind of testing this and see what happens here. But again, the ideal here is to put clover, have clover growing up around this tree, which will bind the sand together and put nitrogen into it. Fix it. We had lots and lots of rain, and basically there's probably lots of water in here. But you can see this one is nearly full. That's my first mound, and I'm creating kind of like a hugel bed here on the outskirts here that I'm going to end up planting trees in here in the future. But right now I'm letting all this biomatter, and you can see how I've cleaned out this area. I don't know if you see the other videos, but you can see I'm kind of cleaning out, pick up all the trees. There's lots of trees over there. And I've got my latest hole that I dug today. And I actually was putting in the tarp in here to see how it fits. I want to make the hole bigger, but this tarp is going to go in there and it's going to hold the water, trap moisture, trap water. And you can see here, I've already started digging a trench, and this trench is actually going to feed to the house, and I'm going to capture the overflow that I'm going to put. Hopefully I can find some containers to catch the water that's going to go into these containers for holding water. But I'm going to do basically an overflow, and that's going to come down here and feed right in here. You can see where I've been scratching lines in there, on there. So what's going to go in here is basically, I've cleared out pretty much all of that there. I'm thinning out anything that's less than 3 centimeters or 3 inches, not 3 centimeters, 3 inches. And I've got this whole area here to do. So this area here will look like this area here. And I'm going to be digging other holes and burying organics for trees in the future. And as I'll have these mounds out there, and I'll know that the mound is one for B1 for other trees, then they'll super grow. They'll grow really quick. So you can see here I added sand. You can see the sand on this side. I left a little uncovered so you could see, right? And then what I did was I just grabbed the old ground cover that's been thrown out there and put it on here. So basically there's a whole bunch of leaves under there, then I put sand on top, then I put the ground cover on top of that. Look at the size of these. These are the potatoes. Look at the size of this. Now, supposedly, somehow this is edible, but this is basically a vine potato, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Here's a smaller one. Look at the size. I've not seen one as big as a big old rhizome up here. So I wonder if I chop this up whether worms will eat it, or let it dry out and let it decompose. Now I can stick it in the water up here. I got 3 of them. Just stick them in the water there. See what happens to them. And you can see here, I also did this tree too. So ultimately what I want to do is I'm going to build a bed around this, have a raised bed around the tree, I think. Not sure. But you can see I've been saving the wood and stuff that I've been cutting under the banister right here. Cool thing about permaculture is I get a workout every day. I'm not going to the gym anymore. Look, I'm already losing weight, I think I'm losing weight. And right now, it was really good for me to cover all these leaves because they were so wet. It rained literally for about 4 or 5 hours. So all this moisture is going to be trapped underneath the sand, and it's going to help it break it down. The fungus are going to work on it. Not only that, the worms are going to come up and munch on it and create some great soil. And And as I build up these beds, then you know, and create the nutrients in them, things like clover is going to put the nitrogen and stuff in it. So you want some legumes going. So I don't see any legumes. I got to get legumes. So that's my challenge today. I don't know what's the best legume for Florida. I'm hoping that white clover is going to be great. I don't really want the red clover because it's too big. I'm just thinking regular clover growing up around here would be really cool and it'll look good.